Well, good morning, or wherever you are, good afternoon, good evening. For here, it's a good morning. Wow. Today is another project day, only the project is not something that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be observing and bringing it to you, hopefully. I'm getting gutters, guys. Gutters, guys. I think there is a business out there called the Gutter Guys, right? Anyways, Tristan is coming over here in a little bit, actually in about 10 or 15 minutes, and I'm gonna get gutters on both sides of the cottage. I'm really excited. I have had several landscaping quotes, and I believe at least half of them told me I should get gutters. They've been out here after a heavy rain and see how the water is making a ditch, pushing the dirt up against the cottage. And so first things first, gutters it is. It's a little bit nippy out here today. I was thinking I was going to maybe do some paperwork along with videoing. I'm not sure if Tristan will want to be in the video or not, but I will show you what's going on, or after it's completed, or if he's not in the video, I can show you some stuff. But anyways, I know it's not that big of a deal, it's just gutters, but to me it's a big deal. Every project, everything that just beautifies and makes this cottage better, whether it be for me or somebody else down the road, because none of us knows how long we have here. I'm excited. I'm excited to make this improvement. I didn't know 100% that I would need gutters when I first got this built, and the people that built the exterior, they don't do gutters. Gutters is a separate issue. So here we are, and I hope you'll join us. Into here, Serene and Simple Life. Headed outside to see what I can see. Oh, the gutter guys are here. This is what I was talking about with the drainage here, the ditch. You can see what's going on here. So hopefully within a couple weeks, or I don't know how long, gonna have the gutters go alongside. We're doing white to match the soffit, and then have the drainage come out the back here. Done some pruning here. My neighbors came over. Look how pretty. And gonna move the RV spot to over this side over here. So more about that later.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Thanks for coming by today to save the day with what's going on here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you think, I know we were talking a second ago that this is, your gutter is going to eliminate what's going on here?
Yes, ma'am. It's 6-inch seamless gutter with the metal roof. It's definitely going to help. 6 inches is definitely the best thing to put on a metal roof. With your erosion issues and the back splashing up on the foundation, it'll definitely help with the erosion problems.
Oh, good. So do you think I'll see a difference after a couple more rains?
Oh yeah, it's supposed to rain all next week, so you'll get to test them out definitely for sure next week.
Okay.
So you'll see a big difference.
Okay. And if I don't, then you come and you take them back and refund me.
Sure.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you get to work because I know less chatter and more work, right?
No, I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Wow, Tristan, you're going to show me how this is being made. How cool is this? Showing the world here.
That's how gutters are made. Start out in a coil, and it forms it for you.
Whoa. Had no idea.
And this is 6-inch gutter.
Okay, all right. And we're getting white, right? Yep. That almost looks like the color of my roof there.
Yeah, so yours would be what we call terratone.
Okay.
But this is a royal brown color.
Okay.
But yeah, they're nifty little machines.
Yeah. So once you get started, then I'll come back at you here. You digging that sign, made in the USA. I like that box. That's a first for me, seeing a box with that imprint. What you're doing here is starting the process?
Yeah, so this is loading the coil. Basically, it comes out of the coil, feeds into the machine. The machine's 10 foot, and it slowly forms everything into a gutter.
Wow, this is like a Mr. Rogers show.
Exactly.
Measuring the sides now to make sure for exact and
measurements.
a little bit easier if he had a buddy here with him, but this is a small job, so you don't put too many people in the crew. It just costs more money, right, Tristan?
Yeah, that's right.
What do we got?
28'9".
Exactly what I told you, huh?
That's right.
Hook that tape measure up on that little thing there.
Yeah. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it doesn't.
The other side. And Tristan, as you can tell now, is not camera shy, and I did get his permission.
That's right.
Yeah, sometimes people comment, you know what, Linda, you're in his face, let him do his work. Well, Tristan's all cool with this. We had long discussion before he even got here. We're like friends now.
That's right. Meeting new people every day.
Are we even on both sides?
We are close.
Dun, da, da. 28.9 or no?
28.8 3/4.
Oh,
It's close.
okay.
So it's pretty square in my opinion.
Yeah, why would it be off by even that little amount?
Well, it's just basically I have to squeeze the gutter. So this panel right here, or the rake as it's called in the roofing world, this right here, you have one on each side, and I have to get the gutter inside that.
Oh,
So it's actually going to sit to the inside of each one.
okay.
And sometimes, which is good. I mean, 1/4 of an inch on a whole house to be square out 1/4 of an inch isn't bad at all.
Oh, awesome.
So it's very, very good. You see some other local home builders, and you'll see a huge difference.
Wow, well, good to know, Tristan. I guess, yeah, this is awesome.
Making your gutter.
All right,
So this is your 28-foot white piece of gutter.
okay. Oh, so those other pieces were from another job. I was thinking that was something we were using. All right.
Yeah, the other ones are for an old job.
Okay, I'm catching on.
Use that. This is what seems like your stand's too tall. Got a MacGyver or something so it doesn't bend the gutter, because you want the back of the gutter to stay straight.
All right.
If it wrinkles, then it wrinkles on your house.
Oh,
And it makes the bottom of the gutter wrinkly as well.
oh, interesting.
So
Well, you sure know your gutter stuff, huh?
I've been doing it for 12 years.
12 years, wow.
Know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two.
Yeah, very
Right.
cool.
We'll do balancing acts to make,
That's awesome.
because the ground is not good for the sand.
We had somebody just stopped by saying about how they got their gutters were all clogged up with leaves. And you said the remedy for that?
So these are leaf guard. Don't buy leaf filter. Anybody out there, don't buy that. They charge way too much and it never works. But this is gutter gully. It's just micro-sized chicken wire with a rubber coating. It's flexible, bendable, so it doesn't rust. But it's brushed aluminum, and it sits on the hangers inside the gutter, and then it just snaps into place, and it'll sit just like that.
Wow. Okay, now I know as part of my project or your project here today that I didn't order these. So is that something that, like you said, that you can always come back and do that later, or?
Right. It's more of a customer-based preference. Try not to sell you anything you don't need. You don't know if the leaves are too much for your gutters to clog them, so why not just put the gutters on first, see what the leaves do. If it's too much, then we come back and install.
Yeah.
So you don't buy something you don't need right away.
Yeah, that's 30-foot single piece of gutter here. It doesn't look too heavy.
It's aluminum.
Yeah.
So it's,
So
when
this
they
is
do
about 16 pounds, 032 aluminum. Here we go, right before your eyes. Gutter being made on the spot. Who would have thunk? Wow. And I imagine with all the trees, eventually I will get the screens, but we didn't order them, so Tristan feels confident that we can just start out like this and see how it goes, and they'll come back and clean out the gutters and put the screens in later. That's all about the pinch and pennies here these days. Roll, right?
Right, so the gutter comes out, it is actually printed. There's a whole bunch of rollers inside the machine, and they're actually very tightly gapped in micrometers, I guess you could say. And basically it prints the 6-inch gutter. Now this front of the gutter is called the K of the gutter. It's a K-style gutter. And if you actually look inside, you can see a lip.
Yep.
And that's actually where the hangers hook. And that's what gives it its hidden hanger system.
Oh.
You have the older gutters to where they're nailed from the face.
Yes.
And then these are actually the hidden hanger system. And
okay.
then your end caps will pop on. And you do that. And you crimp them.
All right, making it all look easy. Maybe I'll be a gutter girl.
That's right. Sometimes it's easy.
Yeah. All right, and then I know we're talking now that, you know, I'll probably go with screens a little bit later, and it's not a big deal because these have to be installed first anyways, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have the system on the house before you can actually do the screen itself.
Okay.
So.
All right.
But yeah, this is what a hidden hanger seamless gutter system looks like.
Nice, because
So-
my image of gutters is those, what, aluminum, ugly,
The
galvanized.
sectional gutter that you get from certain home improvement stores.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
back in the day, you know, we're talking the 70s. I remember our gutters. I still have the image in my mind. They were all crimpy looking and and silver, and they stuck out and they were ugly.
Yeah, these give your house a nice sleek look, so they'll blend into the home very well.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for all your knowledge
You're absolutely
and your
welcome.
expertise. I was calling you a gutter guy, but you told me you're called something else.
No, we call ourselves water directional engineers because we're directing the water from the roof to the ground.
Water directional engineer. Say
That's
that
right.
fast 5
Water
times.
directional engineer.
Okay.
Sounds classy with a high school diploma, but that's
Yeah.
all you need.
All right, I'm all in.
One thing I will say with leaf protection is it'll stop 98% of stuff, but what we call them worms, I guess you could say. These still go through the screen and they will gunk up the system.
Oh.
So that is one thing that gutter gully or screen doesn't stop pine straw, no matter how many salesmen tell you they do. They fall in different directions. They'll stick into the screen. Gutter screen is not maintenance free. It's never maintenance free. Maybe once a year the leaves will pile up on this in the fall, I guess you could say, and you'll have to get up there and wipe them off, stuff like that. But there is no maintenance.
I know the landscaping guys were all behind getting gutters, but you were saying they're kind of like a necessity and they're a luxury at the same time.
Correct. It's more of a catch-22. They are a necessity in most cases. If you already have sod and stuff down, like obviously you don't. But if you didn't want sod in that area and you wanted to do plants or mulch or anything like that, that's where it would become a necessity, not a luxury, just because you're going to put the mulch down, you're going to put the plants down, and after the first rain, all that stuff's going to float away.
Right.
So the necessity and luxury, if you have a house that comes with sod already, it would be a luxury because you have about 2 to 3 years before it starts to eat away at the ground.
Oh.
But that's when you decide whether it's a luxury or it's a necessity, whichever one you prefer.
Yeah, and I was thinking necessity too, just because of what's going on alongside the house here.
Right.
With the dirt pile up and
Right, and with the clay that's built up on the side of your house, gutters will eliminate that because of the splash up, the water, stuff like that. So once the gutters are up, you can clean the bottom of the house and you won't have to worry about it anymore.
oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Hangers and the 3-inch screws, guys, all the way down. I don't know, it looks like every 2 feet or so, huh? This is 30 feet. Woohoo! Well, we're halfway up.
Yeah.
Kristen just pointed out something cool. Right here is the gray stripe all the way down. You know, the side now without the gutter. And then over here, we've got a seamless all the way down. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. There you have it. So far, so good.
So this is a good way to tell when you do get your gutters installed, because you obviously want your gutters to flow correctly, but you want them to look good at the same time. Now, so many people assume that they can do gutters, but can you make gutters look good? And a lot of times the dictate is, let's say you have, just like your house, you have a 28-foot piece. Now the left side, if you look at the bottom of the gutter and you see that 1.5 inches of fascia board that's left, and then you slowly go down the line. Now obviously the middle is high because that's my set screw, and then the end, how it sags down. Now that isn't set yet, but you want the gutter to streamline and slowly flow in that direction, but you also want it to look good. So once I get done with this one, we'll re-video it and then I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. But you never want your gutters to look like this, and then where they just fall down real hard, because aesthetically it doesn't look good. I'm sure the water's flowing that way, but aesthetically it's not what you want. You want it to look good and actually work.
Okay, all right. Beauty on my cottage here.
Like
A necessity and a luxury all in one.
feel like Tim the Toolman Taylor.
All installed, Tristan?
Yeah, so I ran the gutter. Now this side, the gutter does want to flow back a little bit,
Yeah.
but you can actually see the drop of the gutter from this end and how it slowly drops downhill to that end.
Yep.
So that's kind of what you want. Not too much of a drop, not too drastic. Now obviously you have to get the water to drain. That is your #1 priority, but you also want to split the difference of how fast the water drains and aesthetically how nice it looks.
Right.
In most cases, like your house, you wanted the downspout on the back of the house, so our goal is to get it there but make it look good while it's getting there.
Okay.
So
And you were saying about a push of water because
Yes.
boards being a little bit.
So a lot of times, depending on how level the house is, like the downspout needs to go on that end, on the far side of the house, but that water wants to come this way. All right, so using my little bullet level, about 10% of the gutter wants to push back this way, but 90% of it is flowing that way. And in the gutter world, we call that a push. Just because 10% is pushing this way, 90% of it is pushing that way. So make it go a little bit faster, make it push a little bit harder, and it'll push that 10% into the drain. We call that a
Wow.
push in our world.
Okay, the detail guy.
That's right.
Yeah, something engineer type guy, not a gutter guy, right?
Yeah.
What's that called again?
Water directional engineer.
Oh, water directional engineer. Yes, indeed. Thank you.
You have your drop outlet, which is the silver piece, and it's brushed aluminum as well. But you have your downspout, which is this, and then you have your elbows with your extension. And all I'm doing is just measuring and cutting everything.
Wow.
So
you're actually making them here, right, with your little blue bucket.
That's right. A lot of different companies use chop saws and all that other stuff, but
You got all your tools here.
for me, we just keep it simple with a downspout bucket.
All right, and we
And I-
decided to go on the trim rather than along the. You gave me the option on the actual
Yeah.
siding or on the trim.
Yeah, if you go on the trim, it keeps everything a smoother look.
Yep.
But whenever companies do the downspout, they always use power tools and stuff like that. And the guy who taught me, he was very old school, so it was all hand tools and just precision. I mean, all I'm doing now is I took the rough cut off of it, so now it's a smooth look. And as you can see how rough those edges are?
Yep.
A lot of companies will cut it with a chop saw and leave that rough edge, and aesthetically you can actually see where it catches on things, but
Yes.
small stuff like this,
Look at that.
you keep a nice smooth edge
Wow.
and you take the roughness out of it. So
Nice.
small details.
Absolutely.
Because it may look good from my house, but when your friends come over and see it, they want it to look good from your house too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's strap. This is actually what holds the downspout on.
Oh, okay.
And if you actually notice your dots,
Uh-huh.
so the 2 inner dots
Yep.
are for a 2x3 downspout, and the outer dots are for 3x4. This is the 3x4. The 2x3s are kind of like the ones you get from Lowe's and stuff like that.
All right.
But yeah, you set it against the wall, line up, put your screw in,
Cool.
and then wrap over.
Wrap around. I could do that part.
And the a lot of times when people do the downspouts, which you'll see them a lot, and I got on to my employees all the time about this because it's a quality thing. It doesn't affect the way the downspout actually works, but aesthetically, line those up. Those 2 right there. If somebody ever does your gutters,
sure.
because
Yes.
companies will have these things like this, and they'll call them perfect. But you call them out on that stuff, because if they disalign them, when they take that screw out, now they're not going to be able to line it up. They're going to have to replace the downspout completely, all because they wanted to be lazy the first time.
Love it. And that reminds me of like rug straightening. I like to straighten my rug.
Exactly.
So that,
Same
and then once
concept.
those are like drilled in, I'm not going to be able to straighten those.
Exactly. But your downspouts are completed.
Wow.
And so is your gutters.
Wow. Well, Tristan, you know what? I like to end my videos with something that I'm going to just pass on to you.
All right.
And so thank you for all of your knowledge today and your expertise, Mr. Engineer.
That's right.
So with that, blessings in your day and joy in your journey, however that looks for you.
Well, I greatly appreciate it.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, for the screens, huh? You'll be back.
Oh, I'll be back.
See ya. Pretty snazzy. Woo! Gutters are up, guys. Gutters are done. And Tristan left me a little treasure here. When he comes by to put the leaf guards in, he's going to install these to make flower boxes. He said he also uses these to put squirrel food in. I'm so excited. Stay tuned for more. Later.